deltas.
The
Yeah,
deltas.
anytime that, and I will say this, anytime that anyone has the opportunity to be mentored or to be surrounded by other people, not just Delta or whatever sorority, but just in general, it does something for you. You never want to be the smartest one in your clique. Never. You never want to be the smartest one. You always want to surround yourself with people that are where you want to be. And so that has given me, all throughout my life for the 36 years that I've been a member, I've always had the opportunity to surround myself with people who are where I want to be. And again, that can apply to anything. That can apply to, from a sorority to professionally to just the youth club down at the end of the in the corner or whatever. So just get out of your comfort zone. That's my main thing.
Ooh,
Because like you said, the higher you go, the more it's not going to be people that look like us. So got to
Yeah,
get familiar and comfortable with outside your comfort zone.
absolutely. I did something just recently. Um, so I am a creative partner with with Luma, but that wasn't through Luma. Let me correct myself. So Curious Refuge, you all have probably heard of it. They do film, AI classes, and they do film, they do advertising, they do documentaries, etc. Anyway, they had a meetup for people in the Chicago area who are part of the Curious Refuge courses. And normally, I am not the one who will just go and sit with people I've never met. I'm not a networker, I just don't like it. But something said, Kim, go. These are people who are dabbling in what you are trying to do. They're not necessarily just dabbling, but they're in all areas. They're filmmakers. There are some that are just doing it for a hobby. There's some who are doing it for a career. You need to go and sit down and have a conversation. And so I went out of my comfort zone and I went to a meetup, and it was at a restaurant, and it was about 7 or 8 people never met before in my life. Of the 7 or 8 people, maybe it was just me and two others that were African American. The rest, one guy, I don't even know where he was from, but I mean, it was just a variety, and we had great conversation. And it was through that, going to that, that's how I became a creative partner with Luma. Otherwise, I would not have known about, about that program that they had because they didn't advertise it. But it just opened some doors, and it also opened doors to me understanding and learning new AI technology that I had not before. So absolutely.
I love that.
That's so dope.
That is.
Yeah.
Networking is so important. It's so important. I really feel like within our unleashed AI space and now the AI anonymous space, that's really what has pushed us to the forefront of this AI space. And so I appreciate that answer. I really do.
Yep. Yep. So I mean, and again, I've been asked to, speak at different, like AI online conferences and stuff like that. And, I'll do it. I'll do it because you just never know who you're going to meet. You never know
Exactly.
who you're going to connect with. Um, you know, just all depends on, feeling it out, of course, but you just never know. That's the whole thing. You never.
Do you have one or two conferences that you might suggest for somebody that's new? Because I know we do have a lot of new people around our group and that we've just become introduced to that are just brand spanking new. So do you have someplace you might suggest?
So I don't have anywhere specifically that I would suggest. However, I can say this: go LinkedIn is people are sleeping on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
LinkedIn, I
We're
found
streaming on
that's how
LinkedIn now.
mm-hmm.
that's how I found out about one in particular that I participated in. So I would say, as opposed to one particular conference, because it's all new. People, this is kind of new. Everybody's not doing them just yet. They're not having them broadly just yet. But I would say go on LinkedIn and just search for AI conference on there, and then look at was it Afrotech? They have a conference coming up. Afrotech is, and I want to say it's in California. I'm not sure, but look up
I
Afrotech.
think
I know
it
they're
is.
yeah. So just kind of Google it and see what's out there, and then go on LinkedIn, see what's out there on LinkedIn, and then you never know. Maybe you can go to like an Eventbrite or something like that. But just kind of feel it out and see what works for you. And Curious Refuge, they list a lot of conferences too.
Wrote it down. I wrote it down. I'm like, hey, I underlined it just now. Curious
Curious
refuge.
refuge.
Yeah, I love them. I love them. They saved my life. They saved my life. Because I took their AI film course, and there were some things that I did not know, and I'm so glad that I took the course because yeah,
I'm
I
sorry, you
had
said you had the AI which course?
film. They have a
Film
AI
course.
film.
Nice.
They have AI documentary, film, advertising, and animation. And they're now getting ready to premiere a advanced film course.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It
Now you
was
speaking my language.
well
Yeah.
worth the investment. It's not cheap, but
Of course.
you got to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
You
That
know,
part.
you have
Right.
to invest in yourself. I made it back. I made it back. You know.
See, and but that's
That's
important.
Mhm. Mhm.
A lot,
It
a lot of
is.
people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean it is important. I think what I want and see, I don't want to dominate you all's conversation. I want you all to go ahead and get your questions in. But I can just tell you this: it leads into we have to get out of if we're going to make AI be very serious about AI images and video and all of that. Doing the we have to move into instead of having to create a lot of sales on one thing to make money to creating something larger that garners a larger price, a larger commission. So, in other words, let's get into commissioning, being commissioned to do work, as opposed to selling one item here and there. So, that's the side that I'm coming from these days.
Yeah, I understand
I
that.
love it.
If that makes
No, it totally does.
yeah,
I think that a lot of creators have taken advantage of the opportunity of AI being here. But I agree that a lot are not looking at it from that same perspective. And I know you and I kind of talked about when we talked on the phone, we talked about the appraisal and like thoughts around that part of the process and then breaking down, okay, well, how do we get from where we currently are to that place? And there not being a real clear path because there's a lack of understanding.
right.
So
Yeah. Go
I
ahead,
think,
finish your question.
no, I was just going to say, I think that it's really important for someone else to be saying some of the same things that I'm thinking and have been saying, but it's presenting it differently.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. You and I were talking about whether or not selling AI art is profitable.
uh,
And one thing that okay, so I am an art collector and I do collect black art and I collect all original art. Why do I collect original art as opposed to posters? Because there's more value in original art, right? And so what does that mean? That's it's painted or whatever medium that artist has decided to use. It's the original. There's only one original like it and it's sitting in my house. Okay. So that's more valuable. Now, there are levels of value when it comes to art. Where does AI art come into this? Well, when you create an image and then you go out and let's say you do drop shipping and you sell 50,000, I'm just throwing a number out there, of this
Yep.
one image, you're gonna probably sell it for what, about 25 dollars maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the average going rate is for, like, an AI poster. Um, and so now you have to sell volume in order to see a real profit in that image that you did. And so now you're chasing the right images to sell at bulk. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are AI artists out there, they don't do that. And they are making at least 1,000 and up on just one piece. And how are they doing that? Well, first of all, they've built up a following. Okay. And second of all, what they're doing is they're doing limited editions. So now you're getting into understanding how value of art comes around. Now, you have some people out there who will say, well, AI ain't art. Okay, that's fine. I'm not here to debate that. The bottom line is that there are people out there who are selling AI posters, but they're not doing it on the paper down at Kinko's.